To take those bombings and turn them into numbers on a fictional stat sheet ignores the history completely.
The hallowed ground of the Godzilla fandom. We cannot possibly let bad people give it a bad name. Bro, what are you on about, dude? And this person that said, bro, quit talking to minors, and he says, then shut your shit munching mouth. Bro, this is getting good, dude. Some retard's probably going to take this out of context, but no, Godzilla is not pro-LGBT. Bro, what?
He also writes, "You're my slave," which invokes slavery as being a racist dominance taunt. There are also multiple uses.
Bro!
He never challenged my point about it eroding how people engage with art. He just lashed out and called me a loser. That's the level he operates on.
I was a bit skeptical when I saw this. I thought this could well be Cole. Where is the video? Here it is. But then I saw the thumbnail. I didn't really pay much attention because at the end of the day, it was a fucking flip-flop recommendation. So I thought this is going to fucking be some libtard slop bullshit, okay? But then I saw the thumbnail and I was like, okay, this maybe. The worst power scaler on YouTube. What the fuck is a power scaler? He is a racist creep. And I don't know, this kind of tickled me. I quite like the Godzilla Wojak that was being used. So I thought, fuck it, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Here we go, guys. Come on, flip-flop. Let's roll the dice for you, buddy. Let's find out. Let's find out. Coal or gem, you decide. Let's go.
24th, 2025, a video was posted to YouTube titled Hulk vs. Godzilla. It was uploaded by a popular channel called Death Battle, and the general
Yeah, I'll look at the Saber Spark stuff tomorrow.
setup for that channel is that they pit two fictional characters from different franchises against each other in a fight to the death.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what that is. Power scaler. You scale different fantasy characters against each other so you would beat who in a fight. Like Superman versus Homelander. Something like that, right?
Each episode features research into the characters' abilities, histories, and feats, followed by an animated battle that shows the outcome. In this specific instance, Hulk beat Godzilla in this hypothetical scenario. Now, that's all well and good if you're a normal person, but this was earth-shattering to the unemployed Godzilla power scalers out there. One of these people was King of the Monsters, or as he's frequently abbreviated, KOTM, a small channel with a little over 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. In a 22-minute long video that was posted on September 7th, 2025, KOTM argues that Death Battle deliberately lied about Godzilla's power level. His central claim is that Death Battle lowballed Godzilla and ignored feats. That
off depressed people.
Who would have thought that Jar's video wasn't the most autistic thing you would watch today? Wow.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you.
in his view, prove Godzilla is far stronger than they present.
What I'm going to focus on primarily is obviously the horrific slander that they did towards Godzilla.
The video is not framed as a critique, but as an expose, with KOTM treating Death Battle's choices as being intentional deception rather than interpretation.
So when I said Godzilla was dealt an unfair hand out of either bias or stupidity, yeah, it's pretty clear that I was right.
Throughout, he accuses Death Battle of bias, cowardice, and dishonesty, claiming they disrespected Godzilla.
I'm getting some knitting drama vibes where it's like, it's a bit, what the fuck even is this? Okay? But then as I start to delve into it, I'm like, okay, so we've got this super autistic guy that seems legitimately upset about the fact that Godzilla has been slandered. Yeah, his mother was on a heavy dose of Tylenol, clearly. Okay. I see the vision. I see the vision. Okay, I think people are prejudging this a bit too quickly and calling it coal. But I see some potential here.
Fans by refusing to acknowledge what he calls the truth. He dismisses official guides or statements as being invalid while elevating his own speculative calculations. By the end, he calls for Death Battle to redo their episode with what he considers real math.
So, yeah, that was horrible. The animation was also not great, like it was very stiff compared to Devil Artemis's other work. Like, compared to Kratos versus Ashura or Megatron versus Frieza, this was severely lackluster. They showed none of Godzilla's power-ups. They skipped basically straight to Ultima. Minus model and Rivals model look awful. And honestly, like, they should have used the PS4 Heisei Godzilla model. It's publicly available and much higher quality. So I honestly don't know what the hell they were doing.
Regardless, the core of his argument revolved around nuclear power. He repeatedly insists that because Godzilla is a creature born from nuclear energy, and according to KOTM, his durability and destructive capability should be measured against the real atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He argues that Godzilla surviving military attacks, kaiju beam fights, and regenerating from damage all prove he is stronger than nuclear weapons and should be scaled accordingly.
First, let's talk about the difference in treatment. It's pretty obvious from the start that these two were not treated equally.
So, okay. Dude, is that true, though? I don't know much about this power scaling shit. But is it not true that Godzilla's got, like, nuclear power? Because it's all to do with, like, getting... Dude, I don't even fucking know enough about Godzilla. Nuclear. I'd say it differently because I'm British. Whatever. Get over it, okay? And also, sorry, it's between the Hulk and Godzilla, right? Am I understanding this correctly? There's a power scaling fight between Hulk and Godzilla. Well, Godzilla would win. Godzilla's massive, right? Godzilla would just squash Hulk like a bug, I think. I'm a bit confused. So what is he arguing? That Godzilla is not powerful enough and Godzilla... I don't really... Okay.
The Hulk was treated with reverence. They gave him powerful feats right from the start. The editing in that part of the video is significantly better. There's no more Hulk sex multipliers. Oh god, how could they show a father hit his son? Which is really bad, but you know what else is really bad? Godzilla vaporizing people on screen. Like, you want to say a parent beating their child is awful, but not, you know, thousands of people being incinerated by the atomic bombs?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, the fact I even need to say this is insane, but invoking Hiroshima and Nagasaki in a power scaling debate is flat out indefensible. Godzilla was conceived as a symbol of nuclear destruction, a cinematic reflection of Japan's trauma in the aftermath of World War II. To take those bombings and turn them into numbers on a fictional stat sheet ignores the history completely. Men, women, and children were killed in those two bombings.
I'm just trying to figure out whose side am I supposed to be on? And now this guy is making these points that I don't really agree with. But who fucking cares? Who cares about a button ID? Why should I care about some autistic power scaler doing some shit? Dude,
okay, that's wonderful.
Stupid, bro.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
This Chud guy has only consumed Hulk through the MCU, so he probably thinks that Hulk loses to a reform voter at the pub. Skull emoji.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I mean, this is a totally irrelevant point, right? Like, why should I pay reverence to whatever fucking creation the Japanese came up with because of the nuclear weapons? I mean, arguably, Lolicon is an invention that occurred as a product of the nuclear weapons still, and I'm not
Brain
I
Rot
don't like
Logs
that
became
shit,
a member.
you know?
Brain Rot Logs celebrates 5 months of membership. I vote Godzilla.
Thank you for the membership.
Is an outright exploitation of tragedy for the sake of inflating fictional power levels. In my opinion, this is the endpoint of what I call power scaling brain rot, an inability to distinguish between symbolic storytelling and real-world atrocity. When KOTM was rightfully criticized, he didn't admit fault but instead chose to crash out in the replies. Here's a comment under this video by a user named Nigel Nutmeg who said, quote, "Using Hiroshima victims as a shield to defend a film character you like in a pointless internet power scaling debate is genuinely evil. People like you are the reason nobody takes Godzilla or his fan base seriously."
Bro, evil. Fucking evil, bro. Nigel Nutmeg is calling it evil and he's moral frogging super hard about you using Hiroshima victims. Bro, you can say you don't like it. You can say it's offensive. You can say it's disrespectful or something like that. Evil is such a strong fucking word, though, bro.
anymore. Get help. KOTM responded to this comment by saying,
"Oh, you pitiful, sad little worm. I'm not the evil one here. They are. Because they went out of their way to suggest child abuse is more scary and awful than anything with the big lizard. Nice grifting, stupid."
While the backlash was intensifying, KOTM released...
Come on.
Off depressed people.
I'm feeling it now, come on.
Genre pearl clutching brain rot.
Thank you for the $5. Honestly, I think KOTM won here, to be honest. Based KOTM.
Nice grifting, stupid.
While the backlash was intensifying, KOTM released a rather unhinged community post claiming that he never used the bombings as a pity shield and that people pointing it out were stupid and...
Okay, right. Now I can understand this Godzilla versus Hulk thing, because I was a bit confused about that. Okay, to deal with this once and for all, because of how stupid these people saying this are, no, I did not use the victims of the atomic bombings as a pity shield for Godzilla losing to Hulk. Okay, right, I think I get it now. I think I'm grasping this. I think. So basically, this other person did a power scale battle and Godzilla lost to Hulk. And so he's annoyed about that. And what he's claiming is they undersold Godzilla's abilities in just, you know, putting that battle out there. And he's pointing out, oh, but the nuclear weapons and da-da-da-da-da. And now this person making this video is criticizing them for making that point, even though I think he's right. Even though I think he's correct, and that, like, even if he's being distasteful because he's using the fucking real bombings or something, I think he's probably correct. In the context of his own autistic interest in this, that yes, it is ridiculous to say that Hulk would lose to Godzilla. Like, it's absurd. Godzilla would squash Hulk like a fucking bug. Okay? No, dude, how would Hulk win, bro? How would Hulk win? Godzilla's a fucking... multiple, massive fucking nuclear beast lizard thing that can literally level a fucking city like that. How would Hulk win against that? Hulk can't lose against radiation. But gamma radiation. Wouldn't he just eat Hulk? Couldn't he just eat Hulk? Hulk can destroy planet. Okay, well listen. Maybe you guys know more than this up I do. So this is the video.
The Hulk versus Godzilla.
Marvel's Green Goliath against the king of the monsters. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Bro, I cannot dedicate 25 minutes to this, bro. That's ridiculous. What is the fucking long and short of it? Do they say at the end? Dude, it's too much, man. It's too much.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the super chats. Okay, sure. I agree. Maybe Hulk. Okay, guys, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know enough about Hulk, clearly. You guys are autistically obsessed with Hulk. I don't fucking know, bro.
Pieces of shit. He argued that his reference to the bombing was about tone.
Okay, this just shows you were both stupid and a piece of shit. I use that reference to point out why talking about the tragedy of Hulk while memeing on Godzilla is dishonest. Both have been silly, both are serious at their core. This also ties into the "it was Ultima all along" shit. Hitting a kid is bad, nuclear bomb is laugh. Either go into the narrative and whatever for both, or for neither, and just have them hit each other. That's why it's disgusting.
Saying Hulk's backstory is treated with gravity, while Godzilla's nuclear origin is treated like a joke. He framed his use of Hiroshima and Nagasaki as a call for consistency in how tragedy is handled across characters. The problem here, though, is simple. His video used real-world mass casualty events as a yardstick for Godzilla's power in a fight against the Hulk. The backpedal tries to reframe this as commentary on tone, but the footage just doesn't match that claim.
If it's too loud, bro, it's okay, maybe that's why.
Equating Hiroshima and Nagasaki to Bruce Banner's childhood abuse collapses two completely different realities into a single talking point, which is flat out absurd. When criticized, he didn't take accountability but lashed out with insults and doubled down. That is the cycle with this person.
Bro, I find it so bizarre that, like, literally, like, who cares, Ninja? You've created a false problem to get upset with this guy over. That he's like not respectful enough to the Nagasaki victim. Dude, it's so stupid.
Hostility instead of responsibility. As you'll see, whether it's racism or false pedophilia accusations, this pattern defines him. So, who the hell even is this guy, and what?
Okay, so there's more. This is just the intro. How are we getting into false pedo allegations on fucking power scaling videos?
Why am I singling out such a small and largely insignificant channel? Sure, he may have had a bad take here, and his videos are your standard cookie-cutter power scaling content that can be found all over YouTube. But the reason I'm making this video is because it's important to call out bad actors who give the Godzilla fandom a bad name, regardless of their subscriber.
Oh no! Not the Godzilla fandom! The hallowed ground of the Godzilla fandom. We cannot possibly let bad people give it a bad name. What are you on about, dude?
This is allegedly not some kid or even an edgy teenager trying to be shocking online. KOTM is an actual college graduate who surrounds himself with a following that's overwhelmingly made up of children. He can be found in Discord servers throwing around racial and homophobic slurs.
What? Dude. So the Godzilla King and the Monster the guy. Crazy. I have a small ass channel and I insult people. I'm the best. Confidence is important in life, little girl. Bro, quit talking to minors. Are they actually a minor? And then this person says, I have a small ass channel and I insult people. I'm the best. And Godzilla King of the Monster says, I brought bigger ones to their knees. And this person that said, bro, quit talking to minors. And he says, then shut your shit munching mouth. Bro, this is getting good, dude. Bro, this guy's insane. I think I like him, though. I think I actually like him.
Degrading people with sexual insults, and saying some pretty disturbing things directly to minors. That alone should raise alarm bells, and what makes it worse is that he carries himself like a textbook narcissist.
So the one who wants to suck cock is now trying to put... Dude, this is nuts.
The unfounded accusations that he throws at his critics, calling them hypocrites, liars, manipulators, predators, are usually projections of his own behavior. When you step back, the pattern is quite obvious. The community posts, the Discord chats, the YouTube videos, all reveal someone who thrives on conflict, lashes out when criticized, and refuses to accept responsibility for the things he says. And while it might be tempting to dismiss him as a fringe voice, this kind of behavior damages the reputation of the fandom as a whole. It paints all Godzilla fans as being toxic and unhinged.
I'm sorry, but this is stupid. I don't think anyone is looking at that channel and thinking, oh, all Godzilla channels must be like this.
Touched a vagina.
What are you on about, dude? Thank you, DJ KOTM. Thank you for the sub. I think this guy is like so deep in the Godzilla fandom that he doesn't realize that this is like not a big deal. Like, this is so ridiculous to act like this is some broader issue or big deal that you ought to be concerned about.
When in reality, the vast majority of us love these films for their artistry, their history, and their meaning. That's why videos like this matter. If you want to understand why KOTM's reputation has taken such a hit, you don't need to look at his videos. All you need to do is open his community tab. What you find there is less of a place to share updates and more of a running diary of his frustrations.
Bro, some retard... Okay, he's scrolling past quite quick. Some retard's probably going to take this out of context, but no, Godzilla is not pro-LGBT. Bro, what? Who the fuck is saying that Godzilla is pro-LGBT? Oh, it's some stupid it's not even a pro-trans movie. It's just a trans thing. Tranzilla. Gay, straight, man, woman, old child, or whatever other labels. If a giant death monster shows up in your town, you should probably get to skedaddling. I find it a little weird that people are saying this as if they'd be scared from a kaiju attack. I mean, this meme is very cringe. But I don't think they're saying that if you're trans, Godzilla won't eat you. It's just some dumb fucking shitter LGBT meme.
Written with the urgency of someone who just can't log off. The posts swing from obsessive dissections of the death battle Hulk vs. Godzilla video to angry insults aimed at critics,
he's obsessed.
Redditors, or even entire fan bases. It paints a very bleak picture of someone who isn't really having fun with their hobby, but just spiraling out in public.
Since Reddit is crying so bad, they're comparing me to the people who told unknowingly to kill himself. Safe to say, I won. So there will be a lot less posting about them with how pathetic that is. So, since I can't animate myself, I was going to make a compilation for Godzilla vs. Hulk from different animations across YouTube. But I'm not sure if I should still do that. It feels like stealing. I'm thinking it over. Follow-up content involving Ultima and other high-level Godzillas is still guaranteed, though.
He says, safe to say I won, but the victory is hollow. If he really won, he wouldn't need to keep posting about Reddit users at all. Then he immediately pivots into rationalizing why he might just steal other people's work and then turn it into his own video. The whiplash is clear because he wants vindication and content at the exact same time. And for someone who hates Reddit, he seems to spend a lot of time on there, often posting links to the Godzilla subreddit with this caption.
What a pathetic child to hide on Reddit. I will
Oh my god, dude, this guy's based. Literally spurging out of a Reddit post, the Godzilla subreddit.
Insult hypocritical scum however I wish. Anyone who proudly proclaims supporting double standards deserves it. I don't care what anyone else likes. When I post reasons about why films are of quality or of not, just saying herder I like is gross. I don't care if your feelings are hurt by that, but you could have said something actually worthwhile for a conversation. Or stayed quiet.
You also get some bizarre ramblings where KOTM goes after gay people, or decides to just throw out random slurs, or just be outright racist towards black people, like in this case, where he says that black people steal videos by reacting to them. When getting...
Wait, and I'm supposed to hate this guy? What?
Like in this case, where he says that black people steal...
YouTube's been a bitch about content that's repetitive, even though they pay for a couple of black guys to steal whole videos and react to them, but you know. Is that a Jinx reference? Bro. But this is like a recent comment, I guess. It's true. What black guys are being paid by YouTube to react to videos? What the fuck are you on about, dude?
Steal videos by reacting to them. When getting called out for this, he calls the guy an inbred, and has a complete and total meltdown. Don't worry, we'll talk more about the guy an inbred.
Yes, you inbred fucktard. Reaction channels do steal videos. Ugh. Ooh, oh dear. More racist to make it about the black guys, which are the overwhelming majority of that shitty content. Are they? Then again, you and your whole whore sister like skibbity toilet, so maybe Gen Z Italians are just retarded and want to defend their slop. I'm going to go subscribe to this guy.
And has a complete and total meltdown. Don't worry, we'll talk more about the racist stuff later in the video. At the end of the day, KOTM doesn't seem to understand what a community tab is meant for. The tool exists so creators can update their audience on what they're doing, what they're working on.
Well, it sounds like he is updating them on what they're doing, which is endlessly spurging out about Reddit and being racist. Also, like, who are you to dictate what a YouTuber uses their community tab for? I mean, this guy's obviously a spurg. Like, he's spurging out all the time, fine. But, like, if he wants to use it for that, that's his fucking channel and he can do that. There's no right way to use the community tab.
Or just show personality in a way that builds trust. His use of it looks more like a personal diary of grudges. The posts are long, angry, and often directed at whatever person or group upset him that day. It honestly just reads like someone who's venting in real time with no filter. And it's sad. It makes me wonder if he has anyone in his life to process this negativity with outside of the internet. The tone is just unhinged. He'll claim that he has finished addressing critics and then immediately return with another wall of text almost...
Holy shit, dude. This is nuts. This guy's literally insane, and I love him for it.
an hour later. And if I'm being honest, this pattern raises real concerns about this guy's mental health. It's not normal or sustainable to treat a YouTube community tab like a battlefield where every slight has to be answered. Reading through it more than 5
Yeah, he's probably got like severe autism or something, I don't know. Yeah, probably he's got some mental illness, sure, but I just...
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Least racist Reddit-addicted Godzilla Kaiju fan. Thank you for the super chats.
seconds, and it becomes clear that this person is
Yes, dude, yes. He is like the Dark Viper, isn't he? Of the community, the Godzilla community.
Traveling in public before our very eyes.
Also, I feel like he's doing the thing where you can act like you're concerned about someone's like mental health, but you're not saying it because you give a fuck about their mental health. You're saying it because you want to get like a dunk on them. You want to get like the boot into them, you know? I'm actually really concerned about your mental health here, dude. You don't fucking care. You just want to get the boot into him.
Alright, so really quick, this section of the video is going to show KOTM being outright racist and sexually and verbally harassing people, some of which are minors. There are slurs aplenty here, so go to the description and skip this section if you are not comfortable with the material that I'm about to show. I'll give you some time.
Flip-flop, are you sure this is safe for me at the moment? I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm a bit anxious about this.
And to do that, feel free to skip to that part right now. These are some Discord conversations where KOTM uses the N-word while also confirming that he is not black. He also writes...
He used the N-word whilst not black. Incest, talking like he doesn't see his brother and start drooling. What?
KOTM uses the N-word while also
Okay. Are you black? No. Okay.
Confirming that he is not black. He also writes, "You're my slave," which invokes slavery as being a racist dominance taunt. There are also multiple uses...
Bro, this... Okay. Dude, well done, Flip-flop. I think we can all agree that Flip-flop's actually pulled a blinder. Okay? This is actually a great recommendation. This is very funny. You're my little bitch, you're my slave. And it is a black guy. It's a black guy that he's saying it to.
Invokes slavery as being a racist dominance taunt. There are also multiple uses of the F slur as an insult. Most of this is just a way to degrade people, and it's textbook homophobic harassment. He throws the R word around like crazy.
Oh, not the R word. Also, I mean, yeah, like, look, this guy is clearly fucking saying slurs or whatever. Like... It's the way it's been overstated. I don't know. I mean, I think that, although I don't personally care about the use of slurs, I can absolutely see a video talking about someone's slurs and criticizing it or something like that. Sure. But it's, I think, got to be done in, like, the right way for me, where it just points out that they're using them. But this guy's going massively overboard with it. And referring to it as, like, what was it?
And of the slavery as being a racist dominance taunt. There are also multiple...
Racist dominant taunt. I mean, come on, bro.
Uses of the F slur as an insult. Most of this is just a way to degrade people, and it's textbook homophobic harassment.
To degrade people, and it's textbook homophobic harassment. Like, you're over-egging the pudding there, bro. He's probably just saying it because he knows it's a bad word to say to insult someone. That's it. I don't think it's anything deeper than that.
Throws the R word around like crazy, and several lines reference minors being in the chat. He replies with belittling language towards these minors by saying stuff like little girl, or saying that he's correcting minors so that they will improve, and keeps insulting in a space that includes them. I think any well-adjusted person can...
that's deranged. That is deranged. Obviously. I mean, I don't think there's anything you can say about that except that's totally fucking deranged behavior. And I just don't know why you would be permissive of minors in your Discord like this.
Come to the conclusion that mixing slurs and power talk around minors is predatory conduct, even if no outright sexual content is present. This guy is allegedly almost 30 years old. When you
I wouldn't call it predatory. It's like extremely inappropriate to do this. But predatory? What's the what predatory? What do you mean? What is predatory?
Step back, what stands out isn't only the language itself, but the consistency of it. These screenshots span different days and different conversations, and the tone is the same with
redact yourself and your bloodline. So you're a goat fucker, unclean swine, bro. Yeah, this is why you're Indian. Dirty F. Fuck, I could say that. I mean, this is nuts. I mean, you know, you should obviously not be posting stuff like this as a YouTuber, particularly if you've got like minors in your Discord. This is pretty nutty.
Rage, slurs, and attempts to dominate whoever he's talking to. That consistency reveals character more than any video essay ever could. And not that I'm excusing racism or anything, but it's clear that it's not just someone slipping up and accidentally dropping a slur. He's very comfortable performing this cruelty in public in a consistent manner that is pretty constant. The fact that minors are present in these chats makes it even worse, because it shows no awareness of boundaries and no sense of responsibility. At that point, the issue goes beyond bad optics or internet drama. It raises real concerns about judgment, self-control, and mental health. This is a person who should not be in charge of a community space. As a content creator, there is an inherent responsibility when you have a younger audience to treat them with respect and to not say things like this. This is disgusting behavior. The following is
I mean, the problem is like, yeah, I do some, yeah. Like, I mean, you shouldn't have minors in your Discord anyway. But like, I mean, if you saw, like, yeah, obviously you should behave at a better level if you are going to, not that I think you should, but if you do choose to do that, you probably shouldn't be dropping slurs and crazy shit in the Discord. And you certainly shouldn't be interacting in this way either. I just find that predatory stuff is an excessive framing.
Post from someone who claims to have known KOTM, and he gives some insight as to who this person is and how they were affected by their actions directly, saying, quote, KOTM, who is a college grad, by the way, is an ableist, which means that he makes fun of multiple disabled people. He, from one of my friends on...
This video is so up and down, bro. It's like at times I'm like, that's pretty fucking grotesque. I don't think you should do that. To this just sounds funny.
Discord was affected by KOTM. He kind of tricked me into trusting him at the start of the year when people were suicide baiting me and such. And because I was so fucked up mentally at the time, I went hook, line, and sinker. Second, he had what he wanted. Just full on becoming one of those people, and it almost pushed me over the edge. Guy told multiple people I know to commit suicide. There's no justification in that. He told me to justify it. Also, defending him just because he has autism doesn't justify KOTM saying to other people to kill themselves, just because they disagree with him and his videos.
Okay, so we're moral frogging over KYS now. Okay, good.
Plenty of people I know are neurodiverse, but they have this sense of being respectful and actually think before saying something that might upset other people. Unlike KOTM, who has a god complex and cannot bear the idea of others having different perspectives. There is zero sympathy or excuse to be given here, and anyone who supports KOTM only means that you support what he does, including hurting and bullying others. KOTM needs to be held accountable for what he said to people who were abused verbally and mentally. Reporting what KOTM has done by gathering all of what he said to other people on Discord and YouTube are great ways to make sure KOTM gets what he deserves." End quote. Something I do want to clarify here is that I am not saying that KOTM is a predator. I'm not saying that he is a pedophile at all. That would be incredibly reckless. There is very little evidence proving that. The only evidence that I do have is him sexually harassing a minor. Again, I am not downplaying that. That is horrific behavior and should totally be called out. Recently, a bigger channel called The Birdman, who makes these critiques against CinemaSins, made a video saying that the critical drinker is a grifter, which is a statement that I agree with. And this very much upset KOTM, who called out the Birdman, and the Birdman responded, "Sorry, didn't read and am not going to. I have come to find out that you are a flaming racist, using the hard ER N-word multiple times and disparaging Indian people."
Oh, dang. It's just always what, I mean, this is the irony poison state that I'm in, where I see a sentence like this, and I'm just like, is that supposed to be like a criticism? Like, dude, my brain is so fried from online discourse. I'm just like, Sorry, is this you're trying to criticize the guy, are you? Why are you saying all that then? Because that sounds really gay that you're complaining about that. Birdman confirmed Indian. Well, potentially black as well, I guess.
I would say I should expose you for being a hateful bigot, which is why you're mad I criticize other bigots, which is why you're mad I criticize other hateful bigots. Hit a little too close to home, eh? But that would bring more eyes to your channel than you've ever been able to bring in yourself, and I would only be doing you a favor. So stay mad, fruitcake, LOL. In his response, KOTM outright says that he will never apologize for saying slurs, and falsely throws around that it was pedophiles that he was saying these slurs to. So
what? I'll never apologize for slur users with their own medicine, especially when they were pedophiles, the most disgusting form of scumbag I can think of. If you side with pedophiles because of the words I said that hurt their feelings, there's something wrong with you. So now he's just saying these people is attacking the pedos as well. The Indian thing he also just pulled up his ass, like the other Twitter Photoshop images pulled right from their imagination. Funny how someone who falsely claims racism did their one main scapegoat when disproven on something. Imagine my surprise.
So that makes it okay. And when presented with some really bad screenshots, I'm going to blur what I can here. If I showed it uncensored, it would probably get my channel banned. But he's saying, you know, KYS and your bloodline, hard R N-word. You are a goat fucker, unclean swine, incest, N-word, full, you know, hard R. Talking like he doesn't see his brother and start drooling. Yeah, this is why you're Indian dirty. These are real screenshots.
Bro, yeah, Stay Mad Fruitcake is the gayest get owned I've ever heard. Well, this is the problem. These people have cut themselves off from saying things like retard. So they have to concoct other insults instead. And inevitably the most soy-infused queer insults ever. Fruitcake. Wow, you really fucking did me in with that one, bro. This guy's calling you a goat fucker, unclean swine, hard R, KYS, dirty fuck, and you're hitting back with, oh, you fruitcake. Bro, you got to come up with something a bit spicier than that.
Shots. And KOTM likes to say that they are fake images. They're not. The people that are involved have reached out to me privately via email. They have confirmed everything. I have the full screenshots. It's real. I don't know what else to say. And unless KOTM can prove otherwise, I do believe this guy is a complete and total racist bigot. It's funny, too, that he thinks people would fake screenshots like this, because he's not that big of a deal, and his behavior is very evident that it makes total sense he would act like this behind closed doors in a Discord server. This has been a very one-sided drama with KOTM sort of screaming into the void, and his audience is very much turning on him. You look at this community post here where he, again, goes after Birdman, and the comments are all negative. This person says, your vids are nice, can you just slightly calm down? And people in the comments replying to that are saying, I think he has anger issues, or he never will, don't bother, there's no turning back now. Pretty sure he's like 80% anger and 20% power scaling. Another person said, hey, Guinness Book of World Records. Yeah, I'd like to submit a record for biggest hole one person has dug.
I mean, like, who cares about all these comments, man? I mean,
it's sad, because I liked your composite Godzilla video, but now, man, it's just sad. Another person said, why are you so hostile? Who's getting on your nerves? Is because of Birdman? You need to calm down, man. And then someone replied saying, he is incapable of letting go. Just let the man rage and watch.
Worthless.
KOTM responds by saying,
why am I being hostile to a man who falsely accused me of being a racist after I criticized his channel content?
To which someone responds to KOTM saying, he did not falsely accuse you of being racist. He truthfully accused you of being racist. Here's another one where someone said, doubling down and trying to defend your behavior is just going to get you in more hot water, dude. I would suggest trying to calm down, reflecting on the situation, and apologizing. To which KOTM responds,
apologize for what? Calling out a pathetic piece of garbage for his hypocrisy?
The original commenter then says, the very fact that
I mean, yeah, the reality is, going into your own YouTube comments and arguing, as a YouTuber, you're losing. I really don't think there's any value in it, because these people can come along, leave a comment, and then by engaging in it, you're giving it more attention than it's really worth. Unless it's like another YouTuber or something. On that point, yeah, you might want to go ahead and do that. But some random person, like, literally, just fucking ignore it, dude. Like, you've forgotten about it in fucking 1 minute if you just ignore it. Whereas you're kind of like, you know, getting almost like down on their level by getting in the comments and fucking fighting about it.
Think you haven't done
Still
anything wrong leads me to believe that you may be hopeless. I hate having to diagnose someone as such, but your atrocious behavior and refusal to change is pretty clear evidence. The thread kind of goes on for a bit, and eventually KOTM says,
I think what's more than apparent are reactionary idiots like you trying to defend this piece of filth are what's actually hopeless.
To which the original commenter said, firstly, you should not be throwing stones in your glass house. Secondly, as I have told you before, calling me names does nothing to me. Thirdly, at this point, you just need to leave YouTube as a whole, stay in your Discord circle, and leave everyone else alone.
Also, it's a bit queer how he's doing this gay voice for KOTM and a normal voice for everyone else, but anyway.
And as you can see, KOTM is just getting completely ratioed in his own comment section.
He's getting ratioed, guys. He's getting ratioed. Look, he's getting ratioed.
It's really sad to see, but totally justified. I'm not going to go through every single comment, but you have comments like, yeah, this is the death of your channel, angry racist, mad he got caught being racist, can't make it up. You also have KOTM deleting comments like crazy, where this person says, Lamau, deleting my comments is so wacky. My guy, what makes you think nobody notices when their comment has been erased? RickDaSquirrel is a content creator who posts Godzilla-related memes and movie clips. He is someone who has a history with KOTM, and I'm going to present his testimonial that he sent to me personally in order to feature in this video. The following are his words exactly. Quote, it happened in March of last year. I had made a video in response to a bad faith and terrible viewpoint on the whole -1 versus every other Godzilla movie debacle that YouTubers were trying to make to help their own ideology and culture war. He saw the video and told me how dumb it was and how Godzilla x Kong, which hadn't even come out yet, was objectively bad, and anyone who did think it was good was then treated as inferior to him. I called out his response to my video in my community tab, like he always does in his YouTube tab. I went to search his name up to see if anyone else had had a run-in with this guy less than an hour after posting my response to him, and found a video of him being racist, homophobic, and ableist to some people in a Discord chat.
Nice, repeating your master.
Of him being racist.
Considering you're too fucking retarded to answer simple questions, I think I know the dumbasses here are you apes? I mean, it's okay, bro.
Homophobic and ableist to some people in a Discord chat, even telling them to kill themselves.
What, dude? He didn't fucking censor that one, bro.
I posted this to my community tab as an update to show how bad this guy was when it came to interacting with anyone.
I completely disavow that word. It's terrible. It should never be used. Never use that word. Don't say it. Don't even think it.
And he went on to try and make it a moral high ground by saying the people in that Discord server were all pedophiles. Then when I said that just because they are doesn't give you the right to use such despicable behavior as an excuse, what he did next was claim...
No, I don't think that's a Twitch ban. That's not a Twitch ban. I've completely disavowed it immediately.
To his fans in his community tab on YouTube that I was defending pedophiles by taking my reasonable response to him, believing that they were, and then twisting my words so he could look better than me. This went on for the whole day until the people who posted the video that were in the Discord chat found out and messaged me in my community tab. It turns out that most, if not all, weren't actually adults. They showed me the entire Discord chat and I recorded the entire conversation. At one point, one of them said to him that they were a minor, but he brushed it off. A lot of things he said to them were, "You are my slaves," and "I taught you better, little girl." He would then try to say that I was somehow friends with them, therefore trying to slander me by calling me the same thing, along with my online friend who responded to them by being blatantly racist. But he also twisted his words as well. He would also continue to call them a monkey, even after them telling him they were black. He then
Redact yourself and your bloodline. Do the planet a favor. Remove your diseased earth. You've done nothing but fuel my ego. Bro thinks he's winning. I am winning. This guy is insane.
and said that being called a monkey isn't a racial slur somehow. His excuse to say all of these things to terrible people is also a lie, as he does this with anyone that doesn't agree with him. I've seen it firsthand. He cannot take any criticism whatsoever and will call you a worm or even more degrading words. We tried to solve this a couple of days later in a Discord chat, and he would not apologize for anything, despite proving to him that I didn't know the people, nor were they even adults like he said. Even though he said he was wrong about them being adults, he still claimed they were pedos, which, to anyone with any common sense, doesn't work. Therefore, he was basically saying he lied and was wrong about me being friends with them beforehand, and that I was defending them. He would still play stupid like he did with calling people monkeys by saying the same thing, as it's not related to anything bad. After many days of stress and him continuing to not budge, somehow, by some miracle, we were able to get through to him, and the last few exchanges were on neutral terms, and I wished him the best of luck. We deleted both our posts about each other, and he said that the beef was squashed. It turns out recently, though, that he didn't actually believe that, because when people brought up his bad behavior and mentioned me, he went and said that I was attacking him through the mud, so I deserved it. So after everything, he still thinks he's in the right, despite his own ludicrous claims, by grasping for a straw to pull. The guy knows what he's doing. Any socials he does have aren't listed on his channel, and he does all this horrible behavior through his community tab because he knows he can get away with it. If this stuff was in his videos, they would have been flagged and taken down years ago.
Okay, I don't... Surely the community tab is subject to just the same rules as videos are, though. So how is he going to be getting away with it just because it's in the community tab? Surely that could be reported too.
I know people in the community who have gone through the same thing I've had. Some you may even know, where he did the same insane accusations based on nothing. The guy is unhinged and will try any way to gaslight his audience by manipulating your words into something they're not to make him justified in his actions and appeal to them like he's the good guy here. He's a narcissistic lolcow who will scream and claw at anyone who dares say anything the least bit negative about him. I genuinely had hoped he would tone his behavior down, and hoped to even comment on one of his videos saying that it's good. He's being better, and his videos were of better quality, but I knew there was a good reason to keep all the receipts after everything. The guy psychologically and mentally tortured me and made my life a living hell with slanderous lies he made up to make his horrible behavior I called him out on seem worth it because the people I attack deserve it. But he does this to anyone. This isn't the first time I've been through something like this, where my life and my mental health went downhill for me. The whole spring of 2024 was terrible for me. The Godzilla fanbase really showed its bad apples of two-faced, hypocritical, narcissistic edgelords that want to be
being
seen...
brought to the brink by fucking Godzilla fandom. Dude, this is fucking... You think the drama people are bad? You're fucking dreaming. You're dreaming, bro.
As superior. I never looked that much or made mention of this incident again because I didn't want to go through this hell again. But after all this time, it seems like even if no one in the popular Godzilla YouTube space or any fan anywhere is going to actually take a stand, I might as well share the truth now since it's clear he's never going to learn or get better. I wouldn't doubt he will try to once again spread any lie, slanderous accusation, or threaten my and my family's safety and privacy, or even physically confront me at a con if he could. The guy has that type of energy Reverse Flash has, where he would lie about anything to save face. And the thing is, some people did believe his lies, and a few people went and attacked me with it. All I can say is that I hope the community can finally see and disavow this type of behavior, and I genuinely hope the guy can stop and try to improve himself. They're in their own little corner, screaming into the void and taking anyone with them into that fantasy that he's somehow right to be an evil manipulator.
Well, bear in mind, he's reading the testimony of this other person here. I was a bit confusing if you came in a bit later, but this is not him saying this. This is another YouTuber talking about their beef with him.
Take an ounce of criticism or responsibility. His slanderous actions toward me hurt me deeply as someone who only wants to make the franchise and fandom better, and to bring the type of righteous virtues I believe in my religion. This is not the person you want to be, and I hope this video, even if just one person, sees that this man can't be who you become. End quote. Hearing Rick's story laid out like that hit me harder than I expected.
I mean, you know, the guy sounds like an insane, nutter, deranged person. I just guess I'm struggling to understand why you wouldn't just, like, ignore him, or, do you know what I mean? Or like, it's just so bizarre that you're getting into this deranged beef with this guy, rather than just walking away. And now you're sending this testimony to another YouTuber who's making a hit piece about him. It's just pathetic.
I mean, this guy falsely accused Rick of being a pedophile. Who does something like that? The thing that stands out most to me, though, is how familiar this all is. I've seen this pattern again and again with KOTM. The same cycle of insults, gaslighting, and empty apologies, followed by more excuses when the behavior inevitably continues. Rick tried to de-escalate. He even gave the guy the benefit of the doubt and wished him luck, and in return, he was repaid with the same cruelty that started everything. I want to thank Rick for being willing to share this with me and for letting me include it here. It takes a lot to reopen old wounds and speak on something that's that personal.
Old wounds, bro. You're talking about fucking stupid Godzilla-related internet beef. Old wounds, acting like he was raped.
His words remind me why it's important to document these situations instead of just sweeping them under the rug. Even if you don't know Rick personally, or if you've never even seen his channel, I hope his story makes clear how destructive this kind of behavior can be and why we can't let it slide.
Destructive? What? Fuck off.
A few months ago, I made a video talking about my problems with power scaling and how it can ultimately lead to what I called power scaling brain rot, where constant exposure to it ultimately harms the way that you consume media. You start to care less about things like storytelling and more about meaningless statistics and how many gigashits per megafart of damage an attack can generate. To be honest with you, it's a rather milquetoast video that I really only made for my core audience to explain why I tend to stick to critiquing movies as movies and avoiding power scaling discussions altogether. But if you're into power scaling, that's fine. I just wasn't going to cover it on my channel. Despite that, the video was lambasted by a lot of content creators here on YouTube in the power scaling sphere, which is fine. The point of making videos on YouTube is to get a response and to create debate. So for the most part, I don't really care when people respond to my videos. But one of these critics was KOTM, and this was my introduction to him. He had one of the most abrasive responses that I've ever gotten from a video of mine.
God, dude.
This is what he said.
Not an abrasive response.
I saw that loser Firewood made a 20-minute tantrum on power scaling bad. Stop bringing it up. I don't care about the incoherence of someone only popular for talking about toys. Just don't watch trash like that. Starve attention-seeking morons.
Bro, he just raped you. He just utterly gaped you. And you're genuinely bro, you're so gaped you don't even realize it. So he was abrasive, but he was like not even like, he was just dismissing you as not worthy of attention.
Upon having this message forwarded to me by some of my subscribers, I immediately clocked it as, oh, this is some 12-year-old who's craving attention. But I stupidly felt it was best to at least make a statement, since this guy somehow had an audience and had a legitimate platform on YouTube, at least in this niche. So I said the following. I'm not here to trade insults or start drama, but I do want to point out how telling this kind of reaction is. Someone didn't like my video on power scaling, so instead of engaging with the actual argument, they decided to call me a loser and a moron while bizarrely claiming that I'm just some toy reviewer.
You're mogged, bro! You're mogged, and you only make yourself sound more mogged when you talk about it further.
Is news to me, considering I really don't make videos about toys.
Yeah, literally just left a comment and moved on with his life. Meanwhile, you're still here seething. Yes.
This is the exact kind of hostility that gives the power scaling community a bad name. If the response to someone questioning that mindset is immediate mockery and incoherence, it kind of proves the point, doesn't it? The video wasn't made to pick a fight. It was about how fan discourse becomes hollow when it stops being about the art and turns into stat math and ego. If that felt threatening, maybe take a big step back and ask yourself, why? That being said, people like this are a vocal minority. The reception to my video has been largely positive, and I want to get...
The problem you get into with this is you get into this kind of like, well, he's going to respond to you, and you're going to have to respond to him. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it was a fucking comment. And also, is he not going against his own rules about what to use a community post for? But anyway, you could have ignored this and nothing would have happened. But I'm guessing it started a loop of responses.
Give a big thanks to everyone who engaged with the video in good faith. That's the kind of conversation I care about having. KOTM responded to my post by saying,
"So the hypocrite bites back. Listen, sweetheart,
Oh,
it's
dear.
your own fault that you had an entire series titled, and I quote, 'Let's Argue.'"
Okay, also, it is really ringing hollow that you're doing the gay voice for this guy when you're so pressed about this stupid comment and gave a really gay response.
You provoked debate, and then threw a tantrum when it didn't go your way. That is entirely loser behavior. You poked the hornet's nest and then got upset when you got stung.
As a side note, I used to have a series called Let's Argue, where people would give me their hot takes, and then I would respond to them. If you actually watch these videos, they are super laid back and chill, and for the most part, it's me and my subscribers just having a laugh with each other. But this guy seems to insist that that's not what it was. Hot take, Godzilla is a woman. End of discussion. What?
Any comments on this part? Any comments, guys? Any comments?
What?
The points made in that embarrassing clickbaity video have been said 1,000 times before and still mean nothing. It's toxic. Every fandom is toxic. And since you talk about crap like movie takes and toys, that's a larger part of the toxicity, if anything. It ruins art? No, it doesn't. Nothing can ruin art. And if monster fighting discussions can ruin the art of Godzilla films, isn't whining about toys and having provocative movie takes far more devastating to the ruin of art? Just a thought. This is why I called you an attention-seeking moron. You caused your own problems and then cried wolf when it got too much for you. Mocking you is the only appropriate course of action.
With that response, KOTM managed to literally validate everything I said in my original video.
Oh, well, your response has literally validated everything I said about you. It's so pathetic, man.
My arguments was that power scaling culture encourages hostility and empty insults over actual conversation. His entire reply was nothing but name calling. At no point did he address what I said. He never explained why power scaling supposedly adds anything meaningful to discussions about Godzilla. He never challenged my point about it eroding how people engage with art. He just lashed out and called me a loser. That's the level he operates on. His defense was, every fandom is toxic, so it doesn't matter if this one is. Honestly, I think when the best you have to offer is everything sucks anyway, you're admitting that you don't have a case. It shows that he wasn't interested in a conversation, just wanted to be an angry defender of power scaling because that performance is what gives him attention.
You got mugged.
Remember what I said about how every accusation this guy levies is just a reflection of himself. Scrolling through his posts and videos, you see the exact same behavior. People who disagree with him aren't just wrong, but actual clowns, losers, attention seekers. He even said that mocking me was the only appropriate course of action. Think about that. His entire philosophy of debate...
Bro, I am thinking about it, and all I can think about is how based he is and how much he gave you. Oh my god, dude. So based.
Reduced to sneering at people, like an anime villain. What makes it worse is how detached his reasoning was. He actually claimed that people talking about movies or toys does more damage to art than reducing films to raw numbers and hypothetical stat sheets. It shows how backwards his priorities are. It's a worldview where the art itself is secondary to his ability to measure how hard one monster can punch another. And ultimately, he confirmed my point better than I ever could have. Sometime later, I made a vague post on Twitter about a channel called Godzilla Reacts, who was freebooting some of my content. In retrospect, I definitely should have made it clearer who the tweet was about, because KOTM came up with an insane conspiracy theory that this tweet was about a content creator named Zimzilla, who...
Right, so yeah, this whole video is motivated by his beef with this guy, I think, right? So he's obviously had this beef with this guy and decided to make this whole fucking video shitting on him.
Made a live stream reacting to my power scaling video. This is the community post that KOTM made, saying, quote,
Zimzilla99 made a response video to Firewood's garbage video that is 2 hours long, compared to the 20-minute-ish original literally crediting him in the title and linking the video in the description. Funny how that works. Why does he think this can't be checked? Did he think he could just bully a smaller channel? Or did he have no response to the points, so needed to duck the actual discussion?
A few hours later, someone replied to my tweet asking who this was about, but I wanted to wait until I had my call-out video on Godzilla Reacts out first. A few days later, the video dropped, and I clarified it was about...
Okay, so fair enough. Yeah, I think that's an L to the other dude, to KOTM. I think he misunderstood and thought it was about him when it wasn't. Sure.
Godzilla Reacts. Having seen this, KOTM posted...
Update on this. Firewood added like 18 hours after my post that it was that bozo Godzilla Reacts. Little weird that he did that nearly an entire day after his first one, though. could be a red herring, but the alleged reaction doesn't exist on that idiot's channel. So, no longer about Zim, even though that's a pretty convenient thing to add a day later. The glue eaters can unclench. For now.
It's really funny how rent-free I was in this dude's head, because I genuinely forgot that he existed and was totally unaware he was even posting about me at this point in time. The funniest part is how much this revealed about his mindset. He desperately wanted to believe that I was targeting someone unfairly, because that fits this supervillain version of me that he's built up in his head. It wasn't enough for him to say, I disagree with Firewood Media, which a lot of people say that, that's fine. But he needed to imagine that I was pulling strings in some grand conspiracy. Like, bro literally made up some fan fiction about me and then posted it as if it was a fact.
He's got him there, he's got him there. Whoa! Okay, bro, this took a turn. Uh-oh. What is this? What is this?
So that is the story of KOTM, a guy who turned Godzilla power scaling into a platform for racism, harassment, and flat-out delusion. At the end of the day, I don't care if a channel has 7,000 subscribers or 7 million. If someone is openly bigoted, manipulative, or targeting kids, it's worth documenting, especially if it's all three. Because if nobody ever says anything, this kind of behavior can fester. If you ever come across a creator like this, don't give them any tiny inkling of attention that they are so desperate for. Don't reply to their comments. Don't argue with them in their community tab like I did. Don't post their videos by quote tweeting them. Just hit report and move on. Engaging only feeds them, starving them of attention and flag.
It's not so bad, I guess. Like, obviously it's saying don't give them attention, just report them. But I don't know, man. I always think that as a YouTuber, I think you should probably just, like, avoid that sort of thing. I never really like the idea that you're in any way kind of provoking people to go and report a channel. I think in extreme circumstances you can make an argument, but in this case it's like, I don't know. Just let God sort them out or something should be the mentality, I think.
Liking their behavior is what actually makes a difference. I want the Godzilla community, and really any fandom, to be a place where people talk about movies, art, and stories because they love them.
How many subs has this KOTM channel got
They're trying to win internet battles with ad hominem attacks and toxicity. And we can only get to that point if we hold bad actors accountable and refuse to let them define what this space looks like.
And it just shows his greatest hits.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off the press?
This video with you, I have come to the conclusion that Germany got a couple tries at it. It's only right that Japan gets one more try.
Indeed. Thank you for the $5. Yes, because I own you, bitch. This is literally his greatest hits. Dude, that was actually quite fun. That was quite fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, 7.4k subs. Oh my god, dude, that's pathetic. To make a video about this guy like that. Oh my god. Literally his greatest hit. I don't know why he's done this. Dude, I saw you Cole post this up. You were desperate for this video to suck. Either because you wanted to see me fail again, or because you wanted to see Flip Flop fail. I thought that was a great video. Well done. Well done. Well done to all involved. Gem flop. Gem flop. I like the music though. That's a good choice. Really feeling the energy there. Well, KOTM's probably going to respond, right? He's not that kind of guy. No, he's saying monkeys. Okay, I enjoyed that. I'll link the video, obviously. No brigading, of course. Just in case you want to follow this guy's work.